In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to finance a car under your business. You heard it correctly, how to finance a car under your business. So previously to meeting Luis, I had bought cars under my business, but because I didn't understand the financing aspect of it, I would just buy them in cash versus using the bank's money to buy the actual car. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the benefits of buying a car under your business versus your personal name. We're going to talk about the process. We're going to talk about rates, how rates compare from personal to business. We're going to talk about number of vehicles that you can buy under your business, timing, how long do you have to own your business in order to start acquiring vehicles. We'll talk about credit scores and just different things as it relates to the process. So to help us with that, we have Luis Torres. He works for Logix. Welcome to the podcast, Luis. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm excited because you helped me recently, and I'm very grateful. It's actually surprisingly a lot easier than what I thought. So let's start off with, what are the benefits of buying a car under a business versus your personal name?
Well, the two most important benefits I would say would be that it's not reported on your personal credit.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it does not affect your debt to income ratio when you're looking to apply either for a mortgage or any other loans, and then also the tax write-off that comes along with it.
Yeah. And it makes it easier now because now you're separating personal from business as well too. So it makes it like, hey, look, this is strictly a business vehicle. Now, in order to get business financing, do you have to be some sort of entity like an LLC, an S corp, a C corp, or anything like that? Or can you be like a 1099 person, or at that point can you not do it under a business?
Yeah, so it has to be either a corporation, LLC, limited partnership, or sole proprietorship. You can't just be an individual with a 1099. So you have to have some kind of business registered with the Secretary of State here in California.
And then how long does that have to be open for, or what does the approval process look like? Meaning that, like, is there like, can I open up an LLC today or an S corp today and get vehicle financing tomorrow, or is there like a seasoning period that most banks like to see?
That's a great question. Yeah, we in particular, we are looking for 1 year in business. Yeah, one
Okay,
year in business.
you're in business. Okay. And then what does the pre-approval process looks like? And I actually like this because I sell houses for a living, and before people start shopping, they usually get pre-approved. Whenever I would buy vehicles, I would show up to the dealership first instead of getting pre-approved first. And what I liked about this time was that I was able to get pre-approved. Now I had my loan there and I could go buy the vehicle that I wanted. So how does that process look like from a pre-approval process for a business vehicle?
I mean, we would just take the app, like kind of like I did with yourself, right? I take an application over the phone. Takes about 15, 20 minutes to actually complete the application. And once credit is pulled, depending on your debt to income ratios and your credit score, the system would either generate a instant approval, right? Or it would have to go through manual underwriting. And in that case, then we are looking at full docs, like, tax returns and all that good stuff.
Got it. That process was really interesting to me because having somebody like you actually be on the phone with me and just asking me the questions, for me, it made it easier than being on the computer typing everything in. And what was amazing even after that, that if you get the instant approval, you're pretty much done.
Right.
Not done, but that whole pre-approval process is done at that point. Now, if you don't get the instant approval and you have to submit full docs, you said tax returns, how many years, what else do you guys look for? Obviously credit report as well too. What's the minimum credit that you guys look for as well?
Yeah. So minimum credit score is 680. So 680 or higher is what we lend to. Can't be less than 680. And then in terms of documents, we're looking at 2 years of personal and business tax returns. We're looking at last year and year to date profit and loss statements. three most recent current month statements, bank statement, sorry, for your business operating account. And then we're also looking at like a personal financial statement, which is a form we send you, and a debt schedule, which essentially should highlight all the business's debt that we wouldn't be able to see on that personal credit report, since we do pull personal credit and we use your personal credit to qualify you. Based off of that, we don't see what the debt for the business is. Therefore, we have you stated on that debt schedule, business debt schedule.
Now, let me ask you this. If somebody has been in business for less than a year, do they have any options as it relates to getting financing under the business?
That's a great question. I'm sure there's probably other institutions out there that would, but I don't see how, if sometimes they'd be looking for some kind of financial statement, some kind of essential proof that you can actually, in fact, pay this debt back, right? So I'm
But
sure there's probably businesses out there that do that.
in buying a house, you have this concept called the cosigner.
Right.
In a business, is there such thing like can I co-sign for my business to be if my corporation has been there for less than a year, or can somebody else co-sign for my business to get a loan under the business?
That's a great question. We don't do that. However, you yourself is we make you be a personal guarantor. So therefore, you still back up the loan. So it's your business getting the loan, but you back it up in case that essentially what they call is if you default or if you don't pay the loan. Therefore, we have legal right to report it to your personal credit. And then other than that, it wouldn't be reported to your credit, but it's only if you default, and then that's called the personal guarantee.
I love it. I love it. So basically, it doesn't go on your credit report unless you default. Then at that point, you guys reserve the right to be able to do that. What about income? What type of income do you guys typically look for the business if you guys are financing to a business?
I mean, we we just want to see that you can pay the debt back. We don't really care about the income. It's more of like, okay, what's your debt like, and are you living beyond your means? Are you living within your means? And is this debt going to throw you over, or is it acceptable, meaning you're gonna still stay within your means? So, which is that 50% debt to income ratio, right? So,
Got it.
yeah, we don't really care what how much income you're making, or we don't look for a specific amount.
Got it. Okay. So basically, just looking to make sure that the company's profitable, basically. Is there a number of loans that you can have for a business? Meaning, like if I'm looking to grow a large company, could I have 100 car loans under my business, or 100 commercial vehicles, or is there a number that that Logix will do?
That's a good question. It really is dependent on the business itself, right? Like if let's say you yourself as a real estate agent, you're looking to get like 10 car loans plus, right? 20 car loans. Then we're going to say, okay, was this usual, right? Is this justifiable? If let's say you owned a trucking company and we did those truck loans, then that makes sense because you have a fleet now, right? So it just has to make sense. Everything kind of just got to make sense. We have to really ask the big questions as to why you're doing this. What is it? But it could possibly be that, hey, you're a car collector and you have 10, 15 cars. I've dealt with people like that, and it's just as long as it's justifiable, we can do it.
Amazing. Now, if somebody's buying 10 vehicles in bulk, is there like almost like bulk financing where everything goes under one loan, or would that be like 10 different individual loans, or how would that work?
Yeah, we treat them all individually by with the vehicles VIN, right? Yeah, so it'd be individual, but it'd be a fleet loan. The rate would be the same. Nothing really changes except the fact that we're just doing multiple loans versus one.
What is a fleet loan?
A fleet loan is, let's say, like let's say you have an Amazon route, and then you have vans, and you're looking to add 10 vans to your route, and you're looking to buy a fleet of 10 vans. And then we say, okay, well, this makes sense. This kind of business does need vans to operate, and they already have X amount of vans, and they're looking to add 10 more. So
Got
it's
it.
just kind of a loan for a fleet of
But it
vehicles.
would be 10 different payments basically that are made, one for each one. Perfect. Okay. Now, what about down payments to finance a car? Do you guys do like 100% financing? Is it 50% financing, 70%? How does that work?
We do 100% finance. No, I should restate this. 100% loan to value. So what that means is it's just really going to boil down to what the actual value of that specific vehicle is. If it's 75,000, then we'll finance only 75,000. So if you're overpaying for that vehicle, then you have to come out of pocket the difference plus tax and fees, right? So
Got it. And then how do you guys find out if somebody's overpaying or not?
we run it through our system with the van mileage, trim level, and options of that vehicle, and it's essentially a KBV, the Kelly Blue Book value.
Okay. Um, Great. What about interest rates? How do interest rates compare to personal financing? Are they higher, lower, same?
They're
And
definitely a little higher. Yeah.
like what, a point, half a
I
point?
would say with us, although our rates are pretty competitive, right? I would say about a half a percent more, which is
For the
honestly
business?
not that much. Yeah, on the for the business side. Yeah.
Yeah. What about terms of the year? Do you guys finance for 60 months, 72 months, 84 months, 48 months? How does that typically work on the business side? From the time, like, let's say it's a doc loan, meaning you guys required additional documentation. How long does that approval take?
From the time that I have the documents, I request about 2 to 3 business days, because it's going to take me about um, half a day to go through all your tax returns and all your docs, make the what we call is the cash flow analysis to see if this is a profitable business and if this can pay off this debt with any additional debt that they may already have, right? So about one half a day to that, and then I give it about another day for underwriting. So it could be 2 to 3 days, depending on the time that the application is submitted.
Aside from a tax return, how do you verify how much debt a business has? Like, I know, like, on a personal level, like, somebody can look up my social security and everything will pop up on my credit report. How does that work on the business side?
Well, bank statements say a lot. So if let's say you're making your payments from the bank statements, we could potentially see that, right? You're making payments to whatever loan company, whether it be like GM Financial or what have you. Also in your tax returns, you usually want to write off some kind of interest expense. So I'm going to ask, okay, what's going on? What's this interest expense? What is this for? This has got to be a loan. What loan is it, right? What's your rate on it? What have you?
So basically, they would look at the bank statements, and then that'll raise additional questions, and the tax returns, which will raise additional questions, and it'll tell you guys, like, okay, like, it'll give you guys an idea, basically. So after you submit, there's probably going to be some questions after you submit, like, what is this or what is that, and then at that point, you're running a cash flow analysis at that point.
Correct. Yes.
Got it. What additional costs are are associated with getting a business vehicle loan, if any?
With us, none really. I mean, all you have to pay is if let's say you're refinancing, the DMV fee, which is $15 to $23, and that's it. With us, we don't have any prepayment penalties. We don't have an application fee. Um, yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Got it. What if somebody already bought a car under their personal? Can they transfer that to their business? And then could you guys redo the financing at that point, or at that point, is it too late?
No, that's a great question. It happens and it's asked a lot. So what you have to do is you have to reach out to the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, and you have to request a tax exempt. Um, Essentially, you have to request from them to exempt you from a taxable event. Because what happens is when you change the registration or you change or add ownership of that business, then it creates a taxable event, and they look at it as if you're changing ownership. Therefore, they're looking to collect tax. So you're pretty much forewarning them, hey, I'm going to add my business, and in fact, I am the owner of that business. Therefore, there's no change of ownership, and exempt me from paying tax, sales tax again. And then once that's done, they okay it, they give you a form, and once we verify that you have that, then we can refinance.
Got it. What about if I buy vehicle in cash, could I get 100%? Could I refinance and get 100% of the value back from a company like yours?
We typically don't do cash out refinance. That's called a cash out refinance, or essentially a
Okay.
title cash out refinance. We don't do that usually, but we're known for kind of bending the rules a little bit and kind of making exceptions sometimes. So it's not an absolute no, but it's not a yes. It's kind of like a little bit of a gray area, right?
Got
So
it. So it's possible, but not 100%, basically. Because I thought before I found out about this, I was like, oh, I'll just go buy it in cash and then I'll go to a credit union and do a cash out refi. I wasn't sure where credit unions stood on that or if that's something that they would do, basically.
on the business side, we don't. I did it all the time on the personal side. So if let's say you wanted just a personal loan, wanted to have it under just your personal name, then
Yeah.
you can do a cash out refinance. Yeah, but on the business side, we typically don't.
Got it. Okay, good. Any other thing that you think we should add as it relates to financing a vehicle under your business?
Not that I can think of now. I think you asked pretty solid questions. How long you want to be in business for? If how do you add another? How do you add the business after you purchase it? If you didn't so already at the time of purchase, minimum credit score, interest rates differences. The process in terms of documentation that you need. I think we pretty much covered it all.
Amazing. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you to get a business car loan, how would they do that?
They can email me, or they can call me directly. So, I
Okay.
mean, my direct line is 818-565-2785.
Amazing. Good. So, Luis, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast. I've been in the business for 15 years. I had never gone a car loan under the business.
Wow.
I was just so used to paying everything just in cash. We have multiple company vehicles, but knowing this information actually helped me because now I'm this year I'm able to take 100% bonus depreciation on the vehicle that I bought, and I was able to put a lot less than what the vehicle's worth in terms of down payment. So I get a huge write-off with very little money out of pocket. So it's actually a huge benefit. So I do want to say thank you for that. To our viewers, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you feel that this episode would be helpful, make sure to hit that share button. Thank you, Luis. And to our viewers, until
Thank
next
you.
time.